Oh, hey, look, we got frame rates again. It's suddenly 30 frames a second. I don't know why.
This morning's newspaper. Holmes, have you read this article about you?
No, Watson, not yet, and I won't have time to.
Read it before you leave. It's outrageous.
If you insist.
Alright, so apparently the game doesn't involve any problem solving by us. Like, we just look at things and then Sherlock Holmes does all the solving. Which, you know, if you're reading a Sherlock Holmes book or you're watching a Sherlock Holmes movie, that's kind of how it is, right? Like, you watch the thing and it's like, well, you're just spectating and Sherlock Holmes is doing all the work. That's kind of what's going on here as well. And I'm fine with that because I'm lazy. So is there anything I can deduct in my own office? Can I I can't break my intuition, can I? Like, I'm just spamming it. What is this stuff? There's a lot of things that I can't interact with. Okay, don't. I know. You don't need to tell me that. I can go open the door, and I can. Can I play chess? Actually, who's winning? White is winning, isn't it? Oh, is that a finished chess game? Who's actually winning that game? Can I, like, first person? First person, alright. What is happening here? Let's see. Queen there, I think. Oh, I see. I believe black just checkmated white. Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, black just checkmated white. I think. Alright, well, let's not play chess. What am I doing? Read the newspaper. Globe Explorer. Sherlock Holmes at the home of the Marquess of Cunningham. The investigation is a fiasco. Yesterday, the celebrated detective Sherlock Holmes was invited to the manor of the Marquess of Cunningham to supply his conclusions following his investigation into the disappearance of the priceless Samoan necklace. It should be recalled that the lady called in the detective after the police appeared flummoxed in the face of the astonishing circumstances surrounding the theft. Indeed, the valuable piece of jewelry disappeared while the door to the room in which it was displayed was locked. The alarm was raised by the servants, alerted by the room's service bell ringing out during the night. When the Marquis, the only person in possession of the key, opened the door, everyone rushed in to extinguish a fire that had started before it was noticed that the necklace had mysteriously vanished. The most astonishing factor is that no thief was found within the room and all the exits were closed. As usual, Mr. Holmes resolved the case in the twinkling of an eye, and the jewel was recovered. I will not waste my time on the various explanations as to the disappearance, because I would prefer to draw your attention, dear readers, to the last surprising developments in the case. Following the departure of Sherlock Holmes, who placed the necklace in the safe himself, the Marquis noticed that the jewel was nothing but a poor copy of the original. Let it not be forgotten that the Samoan necklace, although plain and without ornament, is unique because of the rarity of its pearls which are found only in a small part of the lagoon of the archipelago of the same name, and to which scientists attribute their exceptional quality to the strong density of crystal of aragonite that they are made of. The priceless necklace, brought here at the beginning of the century by Lord Fenton Arwick, the Marquess's grandfather and an eminent explorer, which is to say some white people went out to the Pacific and stole jewelry from the natives. Should have been part of her daughter's dowry for her marriage to the Duke of Newcastle. So I'm going to place a simple question. Should we not, in all open-mindedness, Ask ourselves if the necklace was not simply and deliberately exchanged for a fake by Mr. Holmes himself. That's a reasonable conclusion. I am aware, dear readers, that the brutality of this question without any preconceptions may certainly shock some of you. But the facts are there, and our thoughts and judgment should not be confused with the regard which we all share for the famous detective. It is not the first time that the Globe Explorer has expressed its reservations as to Sherlock Holmes's methods. Do not forget our counter-investigation into the escape of Arsène Lupin, the Frenchman who took malign pleasure in tarnishing the image of our royal family and who, by lucky chance, managed to elude capture by Mr. Holmes. At the time we did not hesitate to consider a tacit complicity on the part of the latter. For those who are familiar with Mr. Holmes, it is quite apparent that his character traits show more of the opportunist and brilliant usurper than that of altruistic defender of the law. I would draw the attention of our readers to the suggestion that the description of this gentleman provided by his friend Dr. John Watson through his stories is a long way from the truth. This is a really long article. Indeed, his behavior is derisive, contemptuous, haughty, and offensive towards the police. Yeah, that's right. And in particular towards Inspector Baines, replacing Inspector Lestrade, who is currently convalescent, and an habitual abuser of narcotics such as heroin and cocaine. This is why, dear readers, it is important to disregard Sherlock Holmes' good reputation in order to form an objective opinion and to ask the pertinent questions. Was the necklace that Holmes found already a fake? If that was the case, why did he not mention it? And why should he insist on placing it back within the safe himself? Has the detective some unsavory interest in this affair, or is it a simple case of deceit in order to steal the extraordinary Samoan necklace? It is up to you, dear No, it's not. It's not up to... How is it? How do you just... you have your third-hand interpretation of a second-hand account of what happened, and then you give that to the readers and tell them to decide what happened. When the readers weren't there to see what happened, the author wasn't there to see what happened, and the person who told the author what happened also wasn't there to see what happened. It's like you play Chinese whispers and then you say now you have to decide whether it's true or not. That makes no sense. It is up to you, dear readers, to form your own opinions, but you can count upon your humble servant to continue revealing to the public the doubtful methods and motivations of the one who in the future I should not hesitate to call Sherlock Holmes the usurper. To be continued. Oh, Farley. Well, this Farley guy seems to be fairly objective. Oh wait, this is... Wait a minute. How much of this do we have to read? Prince Arnold confirmed Prince Woodville's legitimacy. Do we need to read this? This is like backstory, isn't it? Okay, let me just read this. The ancestry of Prince Woodville recognized, the Lords Committee set up in order to verify Prince Woodville's legitimacy, made its conclusions public last night. Without surprise, the prince's title was confirmed, as rumors suggested. In return of an unfavorable opinion by the committee, the prince would have abandoned any claim to the inheritance of the present royal family, as well as any political activity. The young man, now aged 28, read history and law at Oxford with a diploma in philosophy. He spent most of his childhood in France, where he acquired a considerable knowledge of the culinary arts. For those who might think this a handicap when integrating into British high society, let me remind you that he is also outstanding on the polo field and plays the bagpipes quite beautifully. Finally, we should add that lately he has become actively involved in charity work and aiding the poor. Alright, should be good.
Prince Woodville, French culinary expert and bagpipe player, might be our next king. That's not so shocking, my dear fellow.
You know exactly to which article I'm referring, Holmes. How can Farley dare to tarnish your reputation like that?
You know, Watson, that wherever glory walks, jealousy is bound to follow. As for the forgery of the necklace, I suspect that we shall soon be enlightened in this regard. Come in, Inspector Baines, the door's open.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. How did you know I was here?
You are one of our rare visitors who avoids the second-to-last step of the stairs, which creaks dreadfully. And if I add the clinking of the handcuffs at your belt, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit, Inspector?
Have you read that, Rag?
Slander necklace. They give you dialogue options, but the options are like you have no idea what the options are. Like slander. What about the slander? Like necklace. What are you gonna say about the necklace? It's like the dialogue option is necklace. Do I just literally say necklace?
Inspector, can you explain this slander? Has the necklace of the Samoas really been replaced by a fake?
I don't know how the reporter got hold of the information, but it's true. About the necklace, of course. I wouldn't permit myself to question the integrity and honesty of Mr. Holmes.
The necklace is a forgery? Impossible! I saw the Marquis authenticated before my very eyes, before Holmes returned it to its place.
Mr. Holmes, the Marquis believes Osmond Farley's theory. I shouldn't be surprised if the reporter isn't behind all this slander about you. He's a freelancer, well known for his explosive and subjective articles. In any case, the Marquis assures us that you were the last person to have the necklace in your hands.
Let's return to the Marquis's house, Holmes. I'm sure that we'll have no trouble in taking apart this theory.
It is unnecessary. Such allegations collapse on their own, like one of Mrs. Hudson's soufflés. Let us leave the police to solve this problem and turn our attention to the matters in hand.
Perhaps you are right, Holmes.
Okay.
Inspector, I assume that you have the fake necklace with you. It's why you're here. Your superiors would like me to examine it.
Indeed. They would like you to confirm or deny putting this fake in the box.
Can't that wait? I must go to the house of Lord Peregrine Maitland, the Bishop of Knightsbridge.
Do we not want to look at the necklace? I guess we don't. I guess we're just spectating, because apparently Sherlock Holmes knows all the answers to everything, and we're just pressing buttons.
And the Marchioness?
She is beside herself. Without the necklace, her marriage is compromised. It is the principal item of the young woman's dowry.
What a lovely marriage.
A Samoan necklace. Some white dudes went to the Pacific and acquired a necklace somehow, brought it back, and now it's like this is English people, white people, seriously, going around the world stealing things.
Holmes, forgive me for insisting, but don't you want to examine the fake jewelry?
Watson, I have an appointment, and it's out of the question that I arrive late.
It will only take you a couple of minutes. You really must quell the suspicions put forward in this appalling article. If you will allow me, Inspector?
Be my guest.
Very well.
There are bullet holes in the wall behind us. What is that? VR? Is that the bullet holes literally say VR in the wall? All right, we can talk to.
What should we do next, Holmes?
That is the most useless thing you've ever said in your life, Holmes. I mean, Watson.
What do you think, Holmes?
They give you the option to talk to them, and you don't say anything useful. Alright, let's finger the necklace. What if I take it back to Samoa?
These 3 pearls are of poor quality. This pearl is a different color.
Yes.
This pearl is too small. It is not in its place here. Too many defects. This necklace is a fake. This is nothing but a vulgar copy, and at a glance it would appear that the forger has intended for it to be seen as such.
How could we have been fooled by such a blatant imitation? I don't understand.
Yes, how is it possible? Holmes, do you have a theory about this?
I have absolutely no idea. You insisted that I examine the necklace, and I have done so. Now it is important that I keep my appointment. I'm sure, Inspector, that you will throw some light on this affair.
Holmes.
You may accompany me, Watson, if you care to do so.
Goodbye, gentlemen. I'll keep you informed as to my inquiries.
Goodbye, Inspector.
Well,
You mentioned a bishop, didn't you? Are we going to his home?
I suppose
Yes,
we are.
the Bishop of Knightsbridge. I put his address on our map of London on my desk. Would you get it for me, please?
All right, Holmes.
Yes, slave. Get my. Oh, okay. Okay, do not talk to Watson. So, I mean, obviously the necklace was swapped after we put it back in the safe. Because as Holmes says, it's an obvious forgery. So there's no way that Holmes would have missed it when he was looking at it, and there's no way that the Marquis would have missed it when he was looking at it. And so somebody must have swapped it out afterwards. I control Watson. What is this? What is this? What are these bullet holes? There's bullet holes on the wall. Where are you going? I clicked on the desk. Oh well, this.
The work table, where Holmes analyzes things.
That was a pathing glitch.
Holmes's homemade analyzer.
Okay.
I have found your map.
Congratulations, you found the map. The OC of Knightsbridge. Let me just go back out here and see what amazing things here. Oh, we haven't gone through these doors yet, have we? That goes outside, right? Oh, hey, look, there's a lot of question marks here.
The harpoon that was used to kill Black Peter. A horrible murder.
Why are we keeping murder weapons in our... We're keeping murder weapons in our house as a trophy? That's morbid.